For this fight against Tyson Fury is revenge. Solely revenge. What I done for him and what he didn't do for me. You know, played games, even cheated. Revenge is all, my mind is very violent, and revenge is all I see. The world, people in boxing have showed me true colors. It rejuvenated me. I needed this breath of fresh air. I needed to see that. My mind is always going to be violent in the sport of boxing because the sport of boxing itself is violent. But now they created even someone mindset that makes it even more violent than what it already was. How does it end? When people come to see a Deontay Wilder fight, they know one thing for sure, that he's going to give his all and somebody's going to get knocked out.
I gave me game plan away the first time because he wasn't good enough to do anything about it. And I'll do the same thing this time because he's not good enough to do anything about it. Deontay Wilder's a one-trick pony. He's got one punch power. We all know that. Great. What I'm going to do to Deontay Wilder this time is I'm going to run him over as if I'm an 18-wheeler and he's a human being. And I guarantee you he does not go past where he did before. Because before I only had 5 or 6 weeks of practicing what I was going to do to him. This time I've had 18 months of practicing what I'm going to do to him. So I anticipate it's going to be like an 18-wheeler running over somebody. And that's what you're going to see. I'm building my weight up. I'm trying to get up to 300 pounds for this fight. Because I'm looking for a big knockout straight away. I don't believe he's mentally, physically or emotionally involved in his fight. I think he's doing it for the wrong reasons. And when people do things for the wrong reasons, they always wind up getting hurt. We'll see on fight night if I'm a man to my word and if I can run him over quicker than round 7. And I think I do, for sure.
Well, it's tough to know the reasons with Deontay Wilder because he didn't meet with the main media. He did some YouTube interviews with mostly reporters who are sycophants and acolytes and getting it on his terms. He made an opening statement.
I like that. You like the Wilder acolytes? I like that. Deontay's acolytes. When he didn't, say much at the first initial press conference for Fury Wilder 3, that's supposed to take place on PBC on Fox and ESPN Plus pay-per-view, July the 24th, 2021. We don't know the pay-per-view price yet. I'm here on the PBC on Fox page right here, or PBC, and the link is not available yet for you to buy the fight. So my guess is it's going to be $74.99. That's the price of these pay-per-views these days. The undercard has been official, and it is set. Here, let me pull it up here for you all. I should have had it pulled up in the first place. And I like the undercard. It's going to be some knockouts. In the co-feature, or the chief support of the Fury Wilder 3, is going to be Robert Helenius versus Adam Kownacki 2 in the rematch where Robert Helenius upset Adam Kownacki. Many thought, including myself, that Robert Helenius was done. Turns out he's not. Very, very interesting fight. Somebody's definitely likely. Yeah, I don't see that going the distance. You're going to have Efe Ajagba, former PBC fighter, now top-ranked fighter, taking on Frank Sanchez, trained by Eddie Reynoso in the camp of Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, Andy Ruiz, all those guys. That's a very, very good fight and a crossroads fight for both of those fighters. Here, let me pull it up. Then you have opening up the pay-per-view, Jared Big Baby, the new Big Baby Anderson, making his leap into fringe contender status. Here we are right here. Taking on Vladimir Tereshkin. Have I seen this guy fight before? 22-0-1 with 12 KOs. I've seen this guy before. Russian. He has fought in the States back in 2010. Then this is the pay-per-view portion. Trying to figure out what card. He was on an Al Heyman card with Lamont Peterson, Diego Magdaleno, Jose Benavidez Jr., Marcus Herrera wasn't Mauricio. Interesting. No, this was a top rank card, Bob Arum. So he's been around for quite some time. but nothing really on his resume. In fact, let's go check out the rankings and see if this guy's ranked up at heavyweight. So we're talking about the Fury Wilder 2 undercard. And I rate the undercard a solid B, not a B minus, not a B plus, but a solid B. Because I rate it as if the fights on the undercard can be an event itself. So, for example, Robert Helenius versus Adam Kownacki, they could have Showtime main evented that. They could have put that on a free TV PBC on Fox. They could have headlined his own main event. Efe Ajagba versus Frank Sanchez, that could have headlined his own PBC on Fox or Showtime or Top Rank on ESPN event. So you got two fights right there that are credible, very good heavyweight fights against undefeated fighters. Outside of, well, Kownacki and Helenius have been defeated in the past. So looking at the rankings here, Big Baby Miller is currently not, Big Baby Anderson is currently not ranked yet, because first thing I did was check the WBO. He's a top ranked fighter, so they're usually very, ranked in the WBO. But you do see Efe Ajagba ranked by the WBO. Efe Ajagba is also ranked, let's see, surprisingly not by the WBA. He's number 9 by the WBC. Frank Sanchez, number 5 by the WBO. Is he IBF? Nope, not in IBF rankings. He was in the WBA for a while, I remember, but 14 in the WBA. And where's he at in the WBC? So basically ranked fighters. And then, of course, you have Robert Helenius with this bullshit gold belt. It's not his fault. It's just a bullshit belt. Adam Kownacki, number 9 by the WBA. He is, am I missing him? No longer ranked by the WBC. No longer ranked by the IBF. And he is not by the IBO. I mean, the WBO. But it's expected for him to be ranked by the WBA. Let's see here. All right. So I think it's a good undercard. I think it's a great undercard. I mean, given the fact that you have to think Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder command a lot of money, and they're taking up a lot of guaranteed money from the undercard. If you don't know the purses or the purse split, it's supposed to be 60-40. Tyson Fury 60, Deontay Wilder 40. We really don't know what they're getting. I don't like speculating about fighters' pay and whatnot unless it's really, really, really relevant. In fact, let me let you know what the pay-per-view buys that I should have had all this shit pulled up. I'm getting better though. I've been really, really stabilizing. As you can see, I'm pumping out videos a lot more consistently now. So we really got the momentum going. But Wilder versus Fury 1 pay-per-view buys. Let me tell you what the buys are, and let's compare what you think the pay-per-view buys will do for the third fight. So the first fight did around 325,000, give or take 350,000 or so pay-per-view buys. I believe that number. That was the very first fight. Remember, Tyson Fury, his name was known in the boxing world, but he really made a splash here in the States with that first Deontay Wilder fight. And it was Deontay Wilder's first significant, really pay-per-view. Like the heavyweight American. And it lived up to the hype. So 300 or so thousand pay-per-view buys for the first one. The second one is said to have done around 800 or so thousand pay-per-view buys. And that's with the promotion of ESPN, Top Rank, PBC, and Fox. But in this day and age, it's hard to get 1 million pay-per-view buys. And for me, that was a success for a fight like that, in my opinion. I was predicting it was going to maybe do about 500,000 or so. I don't remember. But nonetheless, that's a 500,000 plus minus jump in viewership. Now for this third fight, with everything that's been going on, Deontay Wilder, good or bad, is a much bigger name. Despite him not having any fights in between him or Tyson Fury, despite Deontay Wilder with all the excuses, the glove stuff and everything, you can say that he's much more, he's a bigger name. So I'm thinking that this pay-per-view can do anywhere between, now you have to think, we have to talk about it. During this day and age, people have gotten more resourceful, especially with COVID and the pandemic. So during this day and age, I think that people are streaming more or illegally pirating fights more, and it's becoming easier. So I'm thinking that this third fight can do around I don't want to say 600. I don't feel comfortable saying 600,000 pay-per-view buys. I think this can this fight do? Now remember, the fight is now 24 days away. That shit's here, yo. July the 24th, it's here. It's here. So I'm wondering if it can do 800,000 pay-per-view buys, the same as the the second one. I don't know. But also to point out something else, my damn ear. I've been using these. Let me tell you something. Let me do this right now. Samsung is having some issues with their earbuds, with the silicone tips. They're causing ear irritations in people, and they're not saying shit about it. So I had to really, really put that out there. But they've been fucking up my ears, man. I'm not digging in my ear. I'm on like the little outload part. But anyway, I think that this fight can do. I think it can do well. And I think that, this is one of those fights where it doesn't really need too much promotion. Like if you notice, they didn't do a press tour. No more than 500,000 and the venue won't sell out. You don't think the fight's going to sell out? Interesting. We're going to do a video looking at the ticket sales and on pay-per-view buys and everything in about a week or so. I have a whole lineup of videos that I'm going to be doing for Fury versus Wilder 3 build-up. So, for example, this weekend at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox, and then you'll be able to catch it on demand on ESPN Plus and everything. They're doing a special or a pre-fight build-up shoulder content. It's going to be 3 episodes before the fight called Inside Fury versus Wilder 3. If you're familiar with All Access, HBO 24/7, PBC Countdown, it's going to be that, where it's a docu-series build up to the fight. From my understanding, this episode is only going to be a half an hour or so long. And you can expect for the first episode to how we got here, because they want to introduce new fans to the fighters as well. How we got here, a quick recap of fight 1, fight 2, what Fury's been doing, what Wilder's been doing, maybe, touch on what the fighter's been doing through COVID and how we got here. I don't really feel that the meat of the episodes or the meat of the really bulk of the content is not going to come to episode 2 and 3, but we actually get to look into the fighters' camps. Because at this point in time, I want to hear and see everything Deontay Wilder has to say, because it is quality content and high value content, because he's got a lot of shit that's been going on with the gloves, Mark Breland, the Glam Squad. We did a whole video pretty much on Glam Squad. Have you ever heard of Glam Squad? The cheetah dude with the hoochie shirt? With the wig? We did that. We did a whole deep dive. I want to know what's going on. What is Soupy made out of this time? Because is it going to be just like, is it going to be just a straight road? He's bench pressing weights and everything, I'm guessing, to be able to carry the suit. The suit was supposed to be heavier, by the way. It's supposed to have batteries and lasers and pyrotechnics and shit. And then they were really, really upset, the Glam Squad. You got to look it up. I know it's probably going over your head if you don't know what I'm talking about. But yes, Deontay Wilder is associated with the Glam Squad. They made his suit. So anyway, they've been pissed because they told the people at the T-Mobile Arena, where did the second fight take place? Whether the T-Mobile Arena or MGM Grand. Well, anyway, they told them not to have no motherfucking fog. And they had the motherfucking fog lights. And they were hot. All right. In fact, I guess this is a good time to use a little bit of filler content and go back down memory lane. Shout out to this man, Corin Batia, with that golden content, bro. Like, I haven't met him yet, but I can't wait to meet him one day at an event. He don't understand. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. Please, I can't laugh. All right. I'm going to try not to laugh. All right. I got some shit to show you. Are you ready? Hold on. All right. Bruh. Hold up. Oh, you haven't heard of Glam Squad? Oh, you guys are out of the loop. You are really out of the loop. So anyway, I'm going to put the link down below in the description box. This is one of the best interviews ever on the internet, ever involving a boxer. a fighter. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Hold on, we go to the timestamp.
The work that went into it.
And oh my God. All right. We're only going to spend about 5-10 minutes on this, but this is very important and very and in context. And every time I get a chance to bring it up, I will. Here's the link to the full interview right down below in the screen in the chat. Now let me tell you something. You take this link, you save this, you bookmark this link, you send it to your friends, your family, you send it to the mayor, you send it to any boxing fan. Any fan of Deontay Wilder, when they want to talk about this damn suit and this damn gloves, send that video to everywhere. I want you to put that video on the cloud, subscribe to the channel. Yo.
Fought Tyson Fury last Saturday. He ends up losing. And then he came out with some excuses, and he said part of the reason he didn't perform well is because his suit weighed him down early in the fight and his legs were gone. So I'm just curious, when you guys first heard that excuse from Deontay Wilder, what was going through your head?
All right. So who you're about to meet is, oh Lord, I didn't forgot their names. Well, anyway, they're the Glam Squad. They are the people who first, they made Deontay Wilder's mask. Remember when he started coming out with the mask? Then they started designing his whole suits. And they went a little bit too damn far. But anyway, listen in. Meet Glam Squad.
It was kind of a shock, honestly, and it was kind of very, it was heart-wrenching. Oh my God.
It didn't sound like Deontay to me.
It didn't sound like Deontay.
That doesn't sound like
because I know that Deontay would never throw us under the bus because I know he absolutely loved the outfit and the fitting, and it didn't sound like it really came from Deontay. So we didn't believe it, but we were on pins and needles all day because we were trying to call Deontay, but actually he was busy recovering. Yeah. So that night before we went to bed, we got FaceTime, and it was Deontay. And it was like, guys, things get twisted in the media. I love you guys so much. You guys are family, and we love Deontay. We got to know him and his wife and his kids. And, we got really close like family, So it was so reassuring to hear him, FaceTime like you and I right now saying, I love you guys and just get ready for the other fight. I'm taking you guys to the top with me and get ready for the next fight with Fury.
But he did acknowledge the weight of the costume. He did acknowledge that, and we actually listened to him in that, and we're like, listen, going forward, we know that we need to make adjustments in that because, he had to wear that costume for a lot longer than anticipated during that ring walk. Normally, it's a 5-minute ring walk. For that, it's not a problem, but because of the way the timing went in the back.
But he was in it a while before.
Right.
So I could see the weight, you know what I mean? Maybe, maybe contributing to it. I understand, but he clarified everything with us. And next time we're going to make the outfit in Scott tissue.
Well, that's probably a smart plan. So when he says 40 to 45 pounds, do you think that's...
Listen to this shit. They are going to be so mad.
Accurate, and why does it weigh that much? He mentioned batteries because obviously it had the lights in the eyes. Is that how much it weighed, and why does it weigh that much?
That's something that's really interesting. So
we didn't actually weigh it though. I wish he was here with us right now because I would just drop it on a scale right now.
Yeah,
but we didn't actually weigh it. So basically, it's the same components as the other outfits. Basically.
All right, hold up. I'll turn the volume up. Hold up. It's
all made in leather.
Hold on. I want y'all to hear this shit. Let me adjust the volume. Go to filters. I'm going to turn this shit all the way up. I want you to hear this shit. Boom. How you like that shit?
But the wiring did add a little weight, and the battery packs did add some weight. So I could see it being,
So those battery packs also weren't just for LED lights. They weren't just for the lighting like that. What they didn't get to see, somebody at the arena dropped the ball.
Really?
And
who in the arena dropped the ball? Look, they're going to be mad. Somebody dropped the look. And he had to take a swig of his beer. He was pissed.
weigh it. So basically, it's the same components as the other outfits, basically all made in leather, all crystals, but the wiring did add a little weight, and the battery packs did add some weight. So I could see it being,
So those battery packs also weren't just for LED lights. They weren't just for the lighting like that. What they didn't get to see, somebody at the arena dropped the ball.
Really?
And when we had asked for it, we were very clear and went over it many times. We said, no fog machines, no lasers. So they had fog machines there. We asked for a blackout right at the end of the song so that he could have a moment. With the whole stadium, the whole stadium comes through, and the lasers go on. There were lasers coming out of the crown that would have touched the ceiling in the stadium.
So you guys didn't see.
Bro, y'all hear this wild shit? Oh. Y'all hear this crazy shit? Somebody in the comments said like he had like lasers of Black History.
And lasers coming out of his arm pieces here. So had you seen like what really was like that moment was incredibly iconic, and that's where the extra weight was from these lasers and battery packs. But like, you know,
but you guys didn't get to see that because they dropped the ball in
the fog machines just went straight in the air.
They went in the air.
They didn't even gather fog.
So it would have been even more of a moment. But the good thing is that the costumes did look amazing and him walking out. But you guys, the sad thing is that you guys didn't get the full effect. There was much more.
No, it absolutely looked unbelievable. It was one.
Bro, I can't take no more. You're killing me. I can't take no more. So yeah, it's professionalism and shit, you know? All right. That is the best interview I've ever seen. Oh, sorry. All right, I'm gonna share the interview here down below. Somebody at MGM Grand dropped the ball. So basically, let me break it down for you. Break it down. So he was supposed to have battery packs, right? And he was supposed to walk, and the fog is supposed to be like all on the ground and shit, like as he walking. But the fog was shooting up in the air. They ain't like that. They was pissed. So he was supposed to get to the ring, and then it was supposed to be like a blackout, like the whole ring go black, and then lasers and shit. Fucking Deontay, man. That fucking Deontay. Fucking Deontay. Let me gather myself real quick. Here, let's listen to that shit over again. Bro, fucking Deontay, man. You can't make this shit up.
That much. He mentioned batteries because obviously it had the lights in the eyes. Is that how much it weighed, and why does it weigh that much?
That's something that's really interesting.
We didn't actually weigh it though. I wish he was here with us right now because I would just like drop it on his.
So that's kind of negligence. How did they not weigh the costume? Don't you think that would be one of the first things you do if you're making clothes and shit? You want it to be light as possible, especially if you're making something for an athlete. Aren't you supposed to weigh it?
Scale right now.
Yeah.
But we didn't actually weigh it. So basically, it's the same components as the other outfits, basically all made in leather, all crystals. But the wiring did add a little weight, and the battery packs did add some weight. So I could see it being,
So those battery packs also weren't just for LED lights. They weren't just for the lighting like that. What they didn't get to see, somebody at the arena dropped the ball.
Really?
And when we had asked for it, we were very clear and went over it many times. We said, no fog machines, no lasers. So they had fog machines there. We asked for a blackout right at the end of the song so that he could have a moment. With the whole stadium, the whole stadium comes through, and the lasers go on. There were lasers coming out of the crown that would have touched the ceiling in the stadium.
So you guys didn't see the full effect.
You guys like that shit? Like this guy, woman beater? He must have learned that from his dad. Woman beater, baby. We're gonna beat that woman beater.
STR8 Drop has just donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Chris Colbert is my hero.
I bet that probably scared the shit out of you because I turned the gain up on this video because it was low. Thanks for the super chat. After this, I'm going to turn it down because I know that probably scared the hell out of you.
And there were lasers coming out of the crown that would have touched the ceiling in the stadium.
So you guys didn't see the
and
full
lasers
effect.
coming out of his arm pieces here. So had you seen like what really was like that moment was incredible.
I missed that part. Lasers were supposed to come out of his arms too. Yeah, I like Chris Colbert. I guess that's a good next topic to move on to. So anyway, we've already talked about the Wilder versus Fury, Fury versus Wilder 3 undercard, which is Robert Helenius versus Adam Kownacki. It's going to be Lord knows what's that dude's name? Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Vladimir Tereshkin. And then F.A. Ajagba versus Frank Sanchez. Likely price $74.99 on pay-per-view. We don't know if there's going to be a prelims. If not, it hasn't been announced yet. But interested to see if they do anything. Yeah, didn't he say like armpit lasers or something? It was supposed to be like, yeah, let's listen to that one more time. So he was supposed to have lasers that was supposed to shoot out. It was supposed to be a blackout in the arena, go all black. And he's supposed to have lasers shoot out, and it's supposed to shoot all the way up to the ceiling, like to the roof. And they say it's going to have armpit lasers.
Blackout right at the end of the
all crystals, but the wires right now, because I would just like drop it on a scale right now.
Yeah.
But we didn't actually weigh it. So basically, it's the same components as the other outfits, basically all made in leather, all crystals. But the wiring did add a little weight, and the battery packs did add some weight. So I could see it being,
So those battery packs also weren't just for LED lights. They weren't just for the lighting like that. What they didn't get to see, somebody at the arena dropped the ball.
Really?
And when we had asked for it, we were very clear and went over it many times. We said, no fog machines, no lasers. So they had fog machines there. We asked for a blackout right at the end of the song so that he could have a moment. And with the
whole stadium.
Blackout,
The whole
the
stadium
fog comes through, and the lasers go on. There were lasers coming out of the crown that would have touched the ceiling in the stadium.
So you guys didn't see the
and
full
lasers
effect.
coming out of his arm pieces here. So had you seen like what really was like that moment was incredibly iconic, and that's where the extra weight was from these lasers and battery packs. But like, you know,
but you guys didn't get to see that because they dropped the ball in the end.
The fog machines just went straight in the air.
They went in the air.
They didn't even gather fog.
So it would have been even more of a moment. But the good thing is that the costumes did look amazing. And
Yeah, it looked amazing on some satanic black magic shit. But yeah, somebody in the arena dropped the ball. So it was supposed to be lasers that was supposed to shoot out, and then lasers that was supposed to come out the arms, I guess blinding people in the crowd and shit. So yeah, let's move on. I want to talk about Alexander Usyk. WBO mandatory for WBA Super, IBF, and of course WBO Heavyweight Champion Anthony Joshua. Let me pull him up real quick. I'm not so sure that he gets knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Now, there's a heavy chance he gets knocked out because, Chisora was really, really, really chasing him down, and he was barely escaping that shit. So I have some concerns that he's going to have to win a decision. He's not going to be able to knock Anthony Joshua out or stop him. That would be some amazing shit if he's able to do so. 18-0 with 13 KOs. And surprisingly, all of his fights, if I'm correct, are available online because I did a binge of his fights before his first HBO fight and before he entered the World Boxing Super Series. And I've covered on YouTube I started with Glowacki. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights. Now, him versus Anthony Joshua is supposed to take place. The target date is the 25th of September. Anthony Joshua, 6'6", 240 pounds. Alexander Usyk, he's a legit, because I've met him in person in Philly. I was at Bertabiev versus, I covered in person Bertabiev versus Alexander Volzdik for the WBC, and what was it, WBC and IBF unification at 175. I covered that. And Alexander Usyk, he's in the Volzdik camp, Ukrainian fighter, also Loma was there as well. And I sized him up, like he's not really, compared to heavyweights. Yes, he's on the smaller end, but height-wise, he has it. The problem I have is him being evasive, ducking too low. He get caught with an uppercut, go flying out the ring. But if he stays on his bike and boxes, he should be able to outbox Anthony Joshua. He can do it. That's not something that's out of the realm of possibility. And he's a very smart fighter with a high IQ. So, he'll have to play the keep away game. And we saw enough with the fight he had against Derek Chisora that, okay, he can be touched. And how is he going to do against a fighter that's not as worn-torn, and more talented than a Derek Chisora? But I'm all for the fight. Very exciting fight. Very intriguing fight. And the winner of that, if all goes well, will fight the winner of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So this is a good time to go break down the heavyweight division real quick. Check out my website, fightview360.com. The link is right down below in the description box. So, of course, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fighting on July the 24th. That is it. No rematch clause, no nothing. If they fight again after that for a fourth fight, they have to come back to the table. I am going with Tyson Fury, but for some reason, I'm not confident, and I'm not counting Deontay Wilder out because you can never count him out when he's got that big right hand. But I do expect Tyson Fury to go out there and do what he says and try to run him over because Deontay Wilder has a history of not being able to fight well on the inside or on the back foot, which is what Malik Scott is trying to teach him. Dylan White, WBC interim champion. Now, right now, as it stands, Anthony Joshua has just one mandatory, and that's Alexander Usyk. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, unless Anthony Joshua is going to have to fight Dylan White. That's just it's going to have to happen. In fact, here, this is the perfect time to pull up that interview because they can't keep jerking him around. It's going to be up to Dylan White to allow the winner of Fury versus Wilder and Joshua versus Usyk to happen. They can't keep jerking him around. Here, let me let this play. We're going to listen in.
AJ, how good are you?
Oh, look, if I'm honest with you, it's about the person you're playing. You're only as good as your last game. I haven't been on for a little while. I'm actually still on PS4, but we've got the PS5 here today, so slight change of what I'm used to, but a champion never makes excuses. We get on with it, so I think I'm going to win.
And doing it for a very good cause as well.
You know what? It's massive. Like the amount of money being donated to organizations that help tackling this worldwide pandemic is phenomenal. So it's a good cause as well. A bit of fun for a good cause go hand in hand. So I'm glad to be part of this.
And I guess there's been loads of times, where you felt it so personally, that the impact of the pandemic and
team said push it back a little bit.
And when and where it might.
The organization have done their part. It's a good cause.
Let's talk about you then. Where are we with Usyk and when and where it might be?
I'm looking to go. I wanted to go like August, but I feel like change of opponent, complete different style. Team said push it back a little bit, prepare properly. This is the fight I need to win because, I was at the final destination to that road to undisputed, but now we're back on the road again. We've got another pit stop we need to make with Usyk. So end of September is when I'll be taking on
Hey, who's timing everybody out for bullshit? What's going on with that? Who's doing that? Be careful, PD. You tripping. You tripping, bro. You tripping.
the former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, moved up to heavyweight. So it'd be good. Probably in Tottenham.
Tottenham, is that a sort of place that you'd relish fighting at? It's an amazing place. I don't know if you've been before, but it's an incredible place.
So I haven't been, but I've heard really, really good things about the Tottenham Stadium. So I'm looking forward to it.
What sort of danger then does Usyk pose as a fighter?
None. I fear none of them. I fear none of them. You don't bring me nothing that I ain't seen before. 2 hands, 2 legs, and a brain. That's it, and a bit of heart. So yeah, let's get it on.
And is it as simple as to say, this is just, from your perspective, a box to be ticked, get it out of the way, and move on to the challenges that everyone wants to see you fighting?
Yeah, like, it's a good fighter. It's a good fighter. I'm challenging.
Yeah, PD's moderator privileges has been suspended. I got too many calls from HR. So until I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah, he's no longer a moderator. We can't be going around doing that. This is not a channel where we go around just blocking people for their opinion. We don't do that around here. We don't do that.
Challenging myself in training, that's what I mean. It's not so much his challenges. They all bring challenges. So I've got to challenge myself in training to get to the next level and go in there, not think of the task ahead as something that I can't do. I don't want to overcomplicate this task. Believe in myself, go in there and do
what do you think AJ's going to try to do? I think that he's going to try to, he's got a high ring IQ as well. I think that he knows that Usyk is probably going to try to play keep away. So I think that he's going to try to lower him into boxing and then try to go for a knockout late, because we haven't seen Usyk. My concern is, how does Usyk hold up from getting cracked, like really cracked by a known big time punching heavyweight? How does he hold up? Legitimate question. Let me fast forward a little bit because he's mumble jumbling around.
Boxing, my whole world just flipped on its head. Like, I had to really step my game up and adapt to this new environment. To be honest, this is the first time I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. I haven't spoken
in devastating fashion. How would you respond to those two?
To be honest, this is the first time I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. I haven't spoken about Deontay Wilder. Sorry about that. Let me silent. Yeah.
It's not Deontay Wilder, is it?
Yeah, silence Deontay Wilder. But this is the first time I'm talking about Wilder, so I don't know what excuses he thinks I'm making. I'm a throwback fighter. Check the resume. I've been in with all of them. The new school, the old school, and there's still a lot more to do. I'm fighting a great fighter in Usyk. I'll fight them all. So Wilder's just another one in the pecking order, no problem. So I don't know what excuses he's talking about. And, talk is cheap. It's the cheapest thing to buy on earth is talk. I'm an elite level fighter. I'm not one of those tomato cans he's knocked out. So you better watch what he's saying and, have a reality check, because when they come to me and him to face, I know what I'm capable of doing. That's all that matters at the end of the day. I can say all of this, but I just know who I am, and that's all that matters.
You say that you're an elite level fighter. Will his place as an elite level fighter be in question if he loses for a second time to Tyson Fury?
He ain't an elite level fighter. He ain't an elite level fighter, in my opinion. He's good. It's heavyweights. So they always know one punch can change the course of a fight. But I've never ever seen in the heavyweight division of a fighter going to war with one weapon in his arsenal, which is what they say is his right hand. But when you get to top level, trust me, that don't last anymore. That don't work. So as we've seen now with certain fights of elite level fighters, he struggles. He struggles at top level. And there's a lot more of us waiting for that opportunity as well to kick his ass. So yeah, he's going to struggle when he comes to fight people like myself and other heavyweights.
And having said that, do you expect Tyson Fury to beat him again then in July?
If I'm honest, I don't know. I don't mind. Fury, Wilder, bring them both. So I'm not taking sides, is what I'm trying to say. They're both enemies of mine, and I want to slay them both with the same energy. So honestly, good luck to both of them. Whichever one wins, I'll be seeing them soon.
So talking of seeing them soon, then you still want to get into the ring with Tyson Fury, and if so, when do you think that's realistically possible to happen?
It should be happening like 7 weeks away from now, 6-7 weeks away from now. So unfortunately, his team, They let the whole boxing world down. But I'll still be here, still be ready, still ready to kind of put on a show. And end of the year, well, look, let me get past Usyk first. With or without Usyk in my life, I'm going to fight Fury. Let's put it that way. You know, Usyk's not the end all and be all. Usyk doesn't determine that fight. That fight has to happen. It's a big fight, bigger than boxing, bigger than the belts. So yeah, it will happen. And I would say after I fight my Usyk fight and defend my belts, and hopefully the world's back to normal, you know, these vaccine organizations and charities that are helping with the spread of COVID vaccines is going to be a good thing in the world. Should be back to normal. This fight is going to be absolutely bigger, better than what it would have been in a few weeks.
So would you say then, from your perspective, you're 100% confident that in 2022 you'll fight Tyson Fury?
I can only speak for myself. If you're speaking about 258 management, the management guys, we do our part. I'm 100% confident I'll fight him and I'll win. You got to ask him the same question, which I'm not too sure, because we done everything, man. Honestly, during a pandemic, one of the toughest times to organize a global fight like that, we managed to have 20,000 fans available, site fees, media ready. I had my name on a contract. I was actually preparing, I was in training, and then boom, they cancelled. So on my end, I stay ready. I fight them all. I'm a throwback fighter.
Final question then, AJ, because we started talking about FIFA, so we'll finish.
You know, the legal thing with Wilder, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I didn't have confidence that Fury versus Wilder 3, Fury versus Wilder 3 was going, I didn't have confidence that Fury versus Joshua was going to happen before Fury versus Wilder 3, because that arbitration was always there. And the fact that they kept pushing it back, oh, it's been agreed to, the contract's being drafted, it's being, and then Eddie Hearn talking and not producing, it's just like, okay, something's going on. And legally, Tyson Fury could not take the fight. So, I'm not going to sit here and point the fingers. I don't know, the full details. But in a perfect world, if everything goes well, we can see Joshua Fury in December, January. Because Fury's fighting in July. This fight's going to take place in September. It'll be enough time for a December fight. And also, Joshua hasn't had a fight this year, has he? Am I missing something? Who did he fight last? Lord knows I'm behind. Colbert Pulev. That was in December of last year. Do I feel that Joshua can defeat Usyk? Yeah, I think he can knock him out. But I'm not confident to say that I feel that Usyk doesn't have a chance because of his size. Somebody just commented, yes, Usyk is too small for Joshua and too stupid. Joshua's smarter, more accurate, a lot stronger. He's not just a cruiser. Usyk, I wouldn't call Usyk a stupid fighter, so therefore I can't read any of your comments anymore. And Usyk is the type of fighter that he can outsmart you like Loma. They literally pretty much fight the same. I said it years back that Usyk is a cruiserweight, heavyweight Loma. He's got it up here. It can happen. And I know they got a plan. By the way, he's going to be training with Vasyl Lomachenko's father again. I forgot his name, but they call him Papachenko. Anatoly? Something like that? Lomachenko? So they're taking this fight very seriously. And the fight's likely going to still be on Sky Sports box office over in the UK, because even though the Zone gets Matchroom fights here in the States, all of them, over in the UK, I think Joshua is exclusive to Matchroom, like for the pay-per-view buys. To Sky Sports. So yeah, since we are moving on to that, the next topic, really quickly, Let's listen to this right here from Nonito Donaire. Basically, there's some bullshit going on with the August 14th fight between WBC bantamweight 118-pound champion Nonito Donaire and, hold on, let me pull up the rankings real quick, and WBO 118-pound champion John Real Casimero. And Naoya Inoue has the other two belts, WBA Super and the IBF. So basically, long story short here.
And, you know, I just heard.
Here, let's play this. Listen in, and I'm going to tell you the details that I've gathered so far. And it's been about a 2-day ordeal in the middle of night with long Instagram streams that I've had to watch. And by the way, I'm back on Instagram. And did I tell you I'm going to be working with the WBC? My videos, certain videos, are going to be featured on the WBC's 24/7 boxing channel that's set to launch July 1st, tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? Is it 31 days in June? Lord knows. It's what to know. Yeah, tomorrow. So each week, I'm going to be putting about 2 hours of content, have my content, 2 hours of my content on the WBC channel. I'm going to do a whole video on everything, tell you where to watch it. I'm going to be plastering links everywhere. You know, so right now, I'm settling down, getting, everything situated. If you haven't noticed, I've been pumping out videos and content consistently daily now. More streams, and basically, my life is stable now, finally, after all these years, and I have an abundance of time on my hands. So I've been declining working with people for years now, from podcasts, broadcasting gigs. I was even offered a gig by PBC and HBO once, to be honest with you, when Peter Nelson was there. But long story, I'm not here to brag or boast. It's not about that. What I'm saying is, now I'm finally putting my all into boxing. I wasn't doing it before because I had a whole lot of outside shit going on. But anyway, we're talking about the fact that right now, Nonito Donaire is claiming or saying that the fight unification with John Real Casimero is off because of, for one, no VADA testing, even though it's being said now that there is VADA testing. And also, was it Casimero or Casimero's team made some vulgar gestures to the wife, and Cornerman, and I'm guessing she's his manager too, Nonito Donaire, wife, Rachel Donaire. Basically something like, grab this ball and suck my dick. Some shit like that. But I'll play these clips and you figure it out.
So as of now, it's off, right? I called it off yesterday morning. Magically after that, then their applications got turned in. And I'm not, how long is this game going to play? Like, how much more memes am I going to go through? How much more videos of disrespect am I going to go through? Are you not going to show up at the weigh-ins because you forgot it's California time and not New York time? I don't know. I don't know what games they're going to play. It's been, I just turned 39 Monday. I didn't think my first week of being this age was going to be dealing with this kind of immaturity. And literally, that's one of the beauties of growing up, right? Like, you start to decide, like, this is not worth it.
It's a lot of, as I titled it in the video, it's a lot of bullshit. Let me tell you something. I don't believe the fight's going to be canceled or postponed because the people that are paying the money, guys like Al Heyman, Steven Espinoza, and even Richard Schaefer, I don't think this fight is going to be canceled. Yes, the fighter's saying it is, but I think they're going to work something out. The fight is too big. And we're going to talk about, what happens if the fight does get canceled. But here, listen to this shit. This shit goes hard right here.
You guys are saying you guys are.
All right, I'm going to start right here.
You guys are saying you guys are demeaning Filipinos.
No.
Oh no! You're telling my wife to suck some fucking dude's dick? Say something, motherfucker. Say something.
Let's talk in Filipino, Nonito. Let's talk in
Okay,
Filipino.
sabihin mo Filipino. Dinirespect nyo ako. Wala naman akong sinasabi sa inyo.
Champ, I know you're emotional now, but sasabihin ko lang sa'yo yung part ni Champ.
You guys are saying you guys.
So as I was saying, some shit's been going down, and once you get the wives involved, that's just, like there's all these messages and everything. I'm not going to play all of it for you. You know, you can go research, but basically, I just told you the gist. So they're saying that the fight is off, and all of a sudden, now let me tell you something. Can I say something? That Sean Gibbons camp, they have some shadiness around them. People have been saying some shadiness there, like with the Manny Pacquiao, you know, like promotions, you know, shit. I mean, I'm not trying to get into it, but basically, you know, Nonito Donaire is insinuating that pretty much these guys over there are getting robbed. Now, I want the fight because the 118-pound division is so close to being unified and having an undisputed, and all the fights we can get to get there are all good. So Donaire versus Casimero is supposed to take place on August the 14th on Showtime. Donaire, just a few weeks back, defeated Northern O'Bally to win that title. Inoue, it has the WBA Super and the IBF. He just defeated in a comeback fight Michael Desmaranis, and basically, the way things are set up, you can have a huge fight in Asia, you know, New Year's Eve, New Year's, the Tokyo Dome, December this year. A huge fight for all of the belts. Now, that's in a perfect world if Donaire beats Casimero. And even Casimero, if he beats Donaire, it'll be a send-off or basically a retirement fight for Donaire. And what Donaire is doing right now at this point in time in his career, at 38 years old, back down at 118 pounds, fighting so many fighters in their prime, and then may still fight Rigo again. And I think he'll beat Rigo today. That's crazy. That both of these guys at that, like, he would be able to beat Rigo, and you can't make any excuses if he beats Rigo at this point in time because they're both the same age. Well, Rigo probably like 50 in like El Cubano years. But what I'm saying is in boxing, they're the same age. That's crazy. Oh, and yeah, and basically, yeah, he does have to fight him because somebody, you know, I don't know if he's saying Casimero did it or somebody in the camp. Either way, if somebody tell your wife to suck their cock, then, oh no, we got to fight. So I understand what he's saying. Like, I'm not fighting you. I don't want to give you the payday. And there's too much bullshit going on. Especially, I don't like the jerking around with the drug test. It's like, yo, if fighters sign a contract, you know, and they're saying drug test, don't fuck around. Like, start taking the drug testing because nobody should have to chase you down and be like, yo, why you ain't signed up for VADA yet? You see what I'm saying? And then he releasing, you know, a tweet saying they signed up. I mean, VADA. Okay, let me go to the VADA page. I'm back on Twitter, but I'm using my FightView 360 account. So you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm on FightView 360. So yeah, it's saying that they signed up, but basically I'm guessing that Donaire's side and his wife, you know, and I'm guessing she's the one like really, really doing the paperwork, which is cool. I think, you know, if you really and your wife have like that type of relationship, you know, it's like, all right, I trust you. Handling, making sure all the paperwork, everything signed, all that type shit. You know, the drug testing. So I'm guessing she like, yo, like all of a sudden, you know, now you're signed up for VADA. I'm looking for the tweet now. Basically, it's like, why you turning your information insulated? Because here, you know, VADA posted, you know, that they signed up on the 26th, but did they really sign up on the 26th, or was it before that? But basically, that's the gist. To me personally, I don't think that the fight is canceled. I think that they're saying that it's canceled, but I think that, you know, cooler heads are going to prevail. And yo, you got to fight him. He told your wife to suck his cock. You better put some hands on him, you know? So, to wrap up, let's go talk about my man, Chris Colbert, and that card, which is going to be on Showtime, 4th of July weekend card. I like the fight because of where Chris Colbert and Nyambayar is at in their career. I was at Russell versus Nyambayar in Allentown, of all places. My God, talk about in the middle of fucking Pennsylvania. They have a White Castle. I drove out there. I drove out to Gary Russell versus Nyambayar, and guess what? It was so many Mongolians. What's that instrument they use? That dong, 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 that shit, yo. It was so many. I'd never seen so many Mongolians. I didn't even know Mongolians was over here. They was drinking and yelling, and people were getting kicked out. Rowdy crowd. The Mongolians don't fuck around, man. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. It was like, I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, Allentown, that's Mongolian town. Little Mongolia. But yeah, solid fighter. Should be a nice step-up test for Chris Colbert. Competing at 126 pounds. A division. Here, let's go look at the rankings. That is like all over the place. You know? Wait a minute. What the fuck? This is not. Wait a minute. Hold up. Am I missing something? Isn't he an interim champion? No, he fighting at 130. Am I high? What am I doing? Yeah, 130 is a weight. Like 130 is all over the place because, say, for example, right? You got Valdez, who's going to be taking on this guy down here, Robinson Concio, in like a comeback chill fight. Jamel Herring and Shakira Stevens are supposed to fight each other. And then the winner of that fight, Jamel Herring. But then you got Chris Colbert, who's not going to fight either of them. Now, Herring is pretty much on his way out. He's close to retirement. Oscar Valdez, he ain't moving to 135. He'll be there along with Shakira Stevenson. Shakira Stevenson ain't moving to 135 anytime soon. So what it looks like to me is they're positioning Chris Colbert to be elevated to get Tank Davis's super belt. Because to be honest, you don't see Tank Davis going back down to 130 pounds, do you? No. So they're doing everything to get Chris Colbert in position to be able to be elevated to this. It's written all over the wall. And he's probably going to end up fighting this dude. And look, he's over on oh no, he's not on PBC. Where's he fighting at? Is he a Golden Boy fighter? Because he's been on Golden Boy cards. So nonetheless, it's a good fight for Chris Colbert. I like Chris Colbert as a fighter. And his resume is, this was originally supposed to be Yorkis Gamboa. Which it was like, ill. But this is a much better fight. And I like how much more aggressive Showtime is getting with their matchmaking. Now, here's what the undercard is looking like. Michelle Rivera on here. This is the guy that Broner had turned down fighting before Broner fought who he fought and looked like shit. Wasn't Richardson Hitchens supposed to be on this card? Anyway, not like a super card, not a great card, but nonetheless something to watch, especially if you want to watch the progression of up-and-coming talent, Chris Colbert. You dig what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up out of here, guys. We got a lot to do tomorrow. We're also going to be here for the press conference. And I got a lot of videos, you know, that we already got lined up for coming out. T-Street Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. Take your time out. Please subscribe and like. And we're going to be doing more